The forest was a graveyard of whispers. Mia shivered. I don't like this, Ethan. Ethan smirked, holding up his phone. The challenge said midnight. We've got to find the mirror. Claire hesitated, hugging her arms. Why would anyone leave a cursed mirror out here? Ethan's flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows. Maybe it's just an old story to scare people. Mia muttered, it's working. The fog thickened around them, swallowing their voices. Did you hear that? Claire whispered, her voice trembling. A faint laugh echoed, barely audible. Ethan chuckled nervously. It's the wind. Come on. The path narrowed, branches clawing at their clothes. Mia froze. Something's wrong. The trees. They're moving. Ethan rolled his eyes. You're imagining things. But the trees did feel closer, their shapes twisted and unnatural. Then, they saw it. The mirror stood in a clearing, cracked and ancient. It wasn't just sitting there, it seemed to pulse, alive. Whoa, Ethan whispered, stepping closer. Mia grabbed his arm. Don't. Claire's breath hitched. It's humming. Do you hear that? The sound wasn't a hum. It was a whisper. Words they couldn't understand crawled into their ears. Ethan grinned nervously. It's just an old mirror. Watch. He reached out, his fingers brushing the surface. The air froze. The fog grew denser, suffocating. Mia screamed, Ethan, stop. But Ethan was transfixed, staring at his reflection. His voice cracked. It's showing. Me. Claire stepped closer, unable to look away. It's not just you, she whispered. It's watching us. Mia shook her head. What are you talking about? Claire's voice trembled. I see myself. Trapped. Screaming. The whispering grew louder, words twisting in their minds. Ethan's reflection smiled, a cruel, mocking grin. It pointed behind him. He spun around, but nothing was there. The ground beneath them shifted, soft and wet. Claire gasped. The dirt. It's moving. Hands reached out from the earth, skeletal and desperate. Mia screamed, grabbing Claire's arm. Run. But Ethan stood still, his eyes locked on the mirror. It's not me, he muttered. The reflection reached through the glass, grabbing his wrist. Ethan's scream pierced the air. Claire and Mia ran, the whispers chasing them. The trees seemed to close in, their branches like claws. Don't stop. Mia yelled, dragging Claire along. Behind them, Ethan's screams faded into the whispers. They burst out of the forest, panting and terrified. The silence was worse than the noise. Where's Ethan? Claire whispered. Mia shook her head, tears streaming down her face. Days turned into weeks. Ethan was never found. But Mia couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. One night, she woke to a faint sound in her room. The mirror was there, cracked and glowing. Her reflection stared back, smiling. It whispered, your turn.